with law
Hey,
enforcement.
how are you?
And
Hey,
I was able
everybody.
to remotely
Welcome.
start and stop the engine
Yeah,
of
Alissa
any
told me
Ford
to
on the road
start
that was
now.
connected with their service, which
So,
is turned on by
hold
diesel
on.
by the car.
Hi all.
Hi,
Because
everybody.
it's properly
Samantha,
secured and
Alissa told me to
unapartment
start
a
now.
fire
So I'm starting
APIs.
now. She
So
told me,
yeah, we're kind of
how do I
I'm
enter
kind of all over the
spaces?
place. Like I
So,
said to
yeah,
you earlier before the show
she's
started.
going to enter
Yeah,
the
I'm
stream.
trying to cram.
So what's the coup, Alberto?
Sorry, Samantha?
We also have a posting company in my new book
Sorry,
on
Samantha?
I said,
HCI
what's
will
the
actually
coup?
be published under our new investment company.
What's the what?
So, when will that be out? Sorry. This year.
Hold on,
This year.
hold on, let me, hold
you
on.
know,
I'm not
my
listening to
plan
you.
is to try and get it done and out
Okay,
before.
sorry, Samantha, repeat.
I was just saying, what's the coup? I just messaged you and just suggested maybe you could play one of the trailers while we were waiting.
Okay, yeah. Let me check the games. Okay. Do you have the link to any of the trailers, Samantha?
No, but I can find one, or I can
Okay.
do it if you like. I've got Kai's laptop. I don't mind.
Okay. Actually, I was listening not to a trailer, but I was watching again to the interview with David Bombard.
Okay. Oh,
But
that's
selfish.
I'll look for a link.
Okay. That's okay. Selfish. Yeah, that's Adam, Nick, Jason. They're okay.
How do you want to manage this, Alberto?
Okay.
Do you want me to accept?
I'm on the back channel, so you can write me there. I'm reading right now the back channel, so you can send me. Welcome, Marisa. You managed to hear. Hold on. I'm sending the microphone and inviting you to speak. You just have to accept. Remember, only works with your cellular. With your desktop, you won't get any invitation to speak. You can see if there is a heart on the bottom of the screen, you can see that with the heart you have access to different emojis. Can you send me a heart if you can hear me? Or 100%?
Oops, she's gone.
Well, maybe when I told you about the desktop, she realized something.
Awesome. So I think I got it working. Can everyone hear me okay?
Wow. Okay. No, we cannot hear you. Alissa, just kidding. Yes, perfectly. Amazing.
Awesome. Yeah,
Congratulations.
sorry. I have never done Twitter Spaces before, so this is cool.
I will tell you a secret. I have already noticed that you have never done spaces before. That's why I was concerned. I wanted to throw that because
The first
no,
time
it's
for
amazing. This is
everything. Hi,
beautiful.
Alicia. I'm Samantha. Pleased to meet you.
Yeah.
Hi, hello.
Here is I'm Samantha Azure. And Samantha is from England, so is Azure. We are going here to host and co-host this space. So welcome. You were telling me you were in a meeting, but you are early for this. This is amazing.
Yeah. It's good to see everyone. Happy holidays, everybody.
Thank you. Happy holidays for you as well.
I can't hear.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I have to tell you, Alissa. I was watching your interviews regarding the AIPs and all that. Well, I think the AIP of Twitter and Spaces are having some issues. So Samantha, at one point you might not be able to hear me or Azure, and that's okay. No, that's not okay. But the only way of solving that is leaving the space and coming back. Unfortunately, it's not very stable, the platform, and some issues are going on, but it's okay. And also, Samantha almost died this morning because she was here and somebody said, "Hello, Samantha." And she said, "Who said that?" A person next to her that she couldn't see. She couldn't see the person. So it was pretty scary for her. But yeah, that can happen as well. But everything's fine. All you normally have to do is leave and come back. Yeah,
I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, she almost died, but I have known Samantha for more than a year now. We have been using Spaces on a regular basis, and yeah, she haven't died. She will not die at this point after all the things she have gone through. I can tell you, she's bulletproof.
No, I'm back, and hopefully I can hear everybody. Can we test?
Okay, check. Hello?
I can hear you, no problem, Alberto.
Alissa, can you say something to Samantha?
I can hear Azure.
Can you say something?
Yeah. Hi, Alicia. I'm Samantha. Pleased to meet you.
Hi, Samantha. Pleasure's all mine.
Pleasure's all mine, I'm sure. Hi. I can hear you now. That's brilliant. Thank you.
Hi, Alicia. I'm Azure. Nice to meet you too.
Hi, Azure. I want to make sure I pronounce your name correctly. Is it Azure or Azure?
Disclaimer, she has no affiliation with Microsoft at all. It was just a coincidence.
I was about to say, or Azure?
Yeah, I have no relation to the Microsoft platform at all.
Got
it. No, you can pronounce it however you like. Alicia, I'm not really bothered. Alberto pronounces it like Azure because of his accent. So yeah, however you like.
So, Alissa, well, I think we share something in common. We have had some encounters with law enforcement, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So should I go ahead and start out an introduction and introduce myself to everyone?
Please. That would be amazing. Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
All right. So good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know who I am, I like to say I'm a recovering hacker. I started hacking when I was 13. Was arrested for hacking to a government network at school. When I was 17 years old, and when the charges were dropped because the arrest was mishandled, I went to go work for the U.S. intelligence community shortly thereafter in cyber warfare. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've started and sold multiple cybersecurity companies. My wife and I, Mel, now own a group of companies under Knight Group. One of the companies, which I think we're going to talk about today, is Knight Studios, which is a film production company. We now have produced 8 TV series and also working on a new feature film. We've been signed as a studio with AMC Movie Theaters, and they're now premiering our movies nationwide at their theater locations, which is exciting. And we've now brought home our 4th Cannes Award. So we typically are also producing shows around the cyber genre, so cybercrime, cybersecurity, which was an impetus for us to launch a new TV network focused in cybersecurity that is called Night TV Plus. Now, Night TV Plus will actually be launching in January. So think of it as kind of like a Netflix for cybersecurity. And so what you're going to be able to do is we'll have 2 models. You'll be able to have us do a subscription for $9.99 a month. You probably spend more on toilet paper per month, and also a freemium account where it's ad-supported television. But it's all cyber and cryptocurrency and blockchain content. So you'll be able to watch Night TV originals. You'll also be able to watch movies, documentaries, and shows from other producers. And we've also have distribution contracts with, for example, Apple TV, Fire TV. Anywhere your TV can go, you'll be able to watch our TV network. So we're super excited about it. Happy to answer questions about it. But, basically now I'm a full-time filmmaker, writer, producer, director at Night Studios. We've also recently launched another venture. We're roasting coffee beans. So it's all hacker genre coffee. So all of our roasts are named after something in hacking. Our first coffee beans that we'll be shipping is going to be called Black Hat. And so we're excited about that. That'll be shipping early next year. We just finished the design for the bags, and so we're now roasting coffee, and so that's one of the 5 companies we run. We also own a digital agency, venture capital fund at Night Group Capital, and we also have a publishing company. And I'm working on publishing 2 new books at the moment. For those of you who are interested in hacking connected cars, I've also am a published author and published the first book on hacking connected cars called Hacking Connected Cars, Tactics, Techniques, and Procedures. And you can purchase that book on Amazon. So happy to answer any questions anyone has. I'm super thrilled to be here today. And happy to tell you
I'm
about my
tired
life and
listening
journey.
to you. I have to say that's quite a mammoth set of tasks you've got there. You must be exhausted.
I always tell people I'll sleep when I'm dead. So
I have a question, Alissa. Your
Good
content,
answer.
for example, for people like me who is not in the USA, will be available right away on January, or will I have to ask a friend in the United States, for example, to have some way access to that? I don't know. Really, because
No.
when with Amazon Prime, I had an issue regarding geographical copyright issues that my country was not able to, I was not able to get streaming from Amazon Prime here. So that was a big issue when it came to Mr. Robot for me. So
Yeah.
I was wondering.
Yeah, no. So we won't have any geographic limitations. So we will be worldwide. So we have pops and CDN edges throughout each continent in Europe, Asia, and the United States. So you will be able to watch our TV network from anywhere. So if you have an Apple TV, LG, Samsung, Amazon Fire Stick, any connected TV, any connected TV device, you will be able to install our app from the App Store. So Apple and Amazon, the 2 big ones, are going to be carrying it. You will be able to watch our TV network from any country. There are not limitations on which shows you can watch, so there will not be any sort of limitations around, what you can watch and not watch.
Well, just tell me when it starts, and I will be your first probably subscriber for sure. I have
Thank
no
you so
problem
much.
paying
Yeah.
1999 for access to that. I will sign up immediately. Don't you have a waiting list or something to pay in advance or to subscribe in advance? Because I want to have that the moment it's launched.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds awesome. Yeah, I would love to have all of you. So you can sign up. You'll be able to sign up on the website or all from your TV, just like Hulu. We also will be with Roku and Hulu. So Hulu will be carrying Night TV Plus as well. So you'll be able to watch our shows on Hulu and Roku as well. But yeah, you'll be able to sign up online on the website or through your TV. Um, I want to say that I think we're doing a promotion when we first launch. So, yeah, well, because it's going to be during the holidays, the plan is to offer a promotion for people that sign up early. Um, so yeah, and then the other thing also is with the TV network is we're planning on offering live TV, so and also e-learning. So if you're interested in taking InfoSec Institute courses, if you want to take hacking courses, we're signing a partnership agreement. We're currently in negotiations with InfoSec Institute at the moment. We're going to be carrying their courses, so all of you will be able to take learning courses from InfoSec Institute, different learning paths. So not only just watching TV shows in cyber, but also learning as well and taking your curriculum on through our TV network. And also in addition to that, live TV. So whereas most TV networks will broadcast like baseball games or football games, we're going to be broadcasting security conferences. So you'll be able to watch security conferences live from your TV. If, for example, you can't make it there physically in person, you'll be able to make it there as well and watch it through your TV channel.
Wow. Wow, yeah, I don't know. Well, I will sign up right now. A question regarding you're in so many, doing so many things in different field, publishing, TV production. Are you considering creating any kind of NFT content? I don't know, such as, for example, your book or something like that, making it available as an NFT or things like that.
No, so I can tell you, my wife Mel is more on the crypto NFT side. So I personally, I was thinking about taking my recent vulnerability research report into hacking law enforcement vehicles and making that into an NFT, but it's something I have not pursued yet.
Well, well, I would love that if you make that available. I would like to say hello to Jonathan and Samantha.
Yeah, you kind of answered a couple of my questions already. I wanted to ask about educational content. So that, because I think that's a really important way forward. And if I can have a dedicated cybersecurity channel, hopefully we can educate some people at the same time, eh? So
Yeah,
have you
definitely.
got like 24-hour content, 24 hours a day, or are you starting off with a small amount of content and then building on it, or?
No, so the plan is we know that when we launch, we're going to need to make sure that we have a lot of content in the system. So in addition to the Night TV originals, we have signed distribution agreements with multiple distributors. So you will have access to in dozens of titles on the platform. I don't know if we're going to be able to get the InfoSec Institute courses on there by the time we launch. But it's something, the plan is to actually have well over, 3 or 4 dozen different titles on the platform. We're in the process of loading content into the platform as we speak. We're already ahead of schedule. So you raise a good point, but 24 hours a day so just like you can watch Netflix or Amazon Prime 24 hours a day, you will be able to watch Night TV Plus 24 hours a day. So
Wow.
we're gonna have, like I said, we'll have news shows as well. The plan is to also add fast channels. That stands for free ad supported television. So eventually what we're going to do is you're going to be able to turn on a particular TV channel, and whatever is playing at that particular time is what you'll be able to watch, just like traditional TV. So that's coming later in the year, but in the meantime, yeah, everything will be available 24 hours a day. Of course, that is the pre-recorded content, pre-produced. anything that's live TV, that's going to be, of course, based on the hours. So, for example, if you can't make it to Black Hat briefings or RSA or what have you, being able to get a digital pass to watch it on your TV is something we're going to make available as well via live stream. So, yeah, live TV will be coming as well. So, yeah, a lot of exciting things.
Definitely. And just one more question, and then I'll give it back to Alberto. I hear that on the grapevine that you've won 3 awards for some of your content already. I just thought you might like to share some of that with us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so we actually just took home our 4th Cannes Award from Cannes, France. Many of you are aware of the Cannes Independent Film Festival, Cannes Film Festival. So we just won Best New TV Series, Best New Series for Scorched Earth, as well as several other shows. We also just brought home a Red Movie Award. So I think I want to say at this point we now have 5 film festival awards, which is super exciting. And yeah, we're looking forward to someday bringing home a Sundance Award. But yeah, we just recently got back from Cannes, France. So that was exciting. But yeah, we're continuing to go after other film festivals. The one thing this is really exciting, I'm going to be announcing for the first time here on Twitter Spaces is that we just found out an hour ago that No Name Security will be releasing Scorched Earth episode 1 tomorrow. So I'm about to put out the trailer and the movie poster, but I just wanted to let all of you know you're hearing it for the first time here that Scorched Earth is coming out tomorrow. It will be available on the No Name Security website, and you can also watch it from the Night Studios website at nightstudios.com. So we will be linking to the episode. And we're currently in negotiations with another API security vendor who will be taking the Scorched Earth TV series over and actually producing the remainder of the season. So we're super excited about that.
Sounds amazing,
that sounds
Alissa.
really exciting. Sorry.
Just to ask quickly, will the educational programs that you're offering, will they cost anything extra, or will that be part of the package?
That's a really good question. So we're going to be offering 3 different subscription types for the platform. So there's subscription video on demand, or SVOD, and that's basically your $9.99 a month subscription. There's going to be AVOD, which is advertising video on demand. So you can have a free account, but you have to watch ads during the content. And then the third type is transactional video on demand, or TVOD. The online courses that InfoSec Institute has that they will be making available on the TV network, those are transactional video on demand, so you will have to pay for those individual courses. I am not sure if InfoSec Institute will be offering any of their curriculum for free as part of the subscription, but we will be, like I said, we're in current negotiations with them. I will lobby on everyone's behalf to try and see if I can get some free curriculum from them to put available on the TV network for free, so everyone has an opportunity to get some free access to some of that curriculum. But if you want maybe, for example, premium curriculum, then that would be transactional at that point.
Amazing. If you want to post anything to the Nest at the top, Alissa, to promote anything of yourself and obviously your network site, please feel free to do so as well.
Awesome. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
I did link
If you
both
see
of the
on the
trailers
top-
that I
yeah.
found in the chat as well, if anybody's interested in having a look at those.
Awesome.
Yeah, by the
Sorry.
way, the Nest is what appears up here on the screen, that I posted a link to your coming book, your autobiography. No, that's amazing. Can you talk a little bit about that book?
Yeah, so I have 2 new books coming out. One is called Princess of Thieves, Hacking Banks, Financial Services, Healthcare. It's a new book on hacking APIs. And so that will be coming out next year, as well as my autobiography. So expect 2 new books from Knight Publishing from me. My publisher previously was Wiley. The Hacking Connected Cars book was published through Wiley, and then Mel and I sat back and decided, hey, look, Wiley's, we love them, but they're just taking too much money from my book sales. So we decided we're just going to form a publishing company. So that's why we started Knight Publishing, and so all of my new books will be published underneath our company's brand. So they will be available. My autobiography and the Princess of Thieves book, those will be available on Amazon as well as audiobook. And also we're talking to Barnes and Noble as well and some other book retailers about carrying it as well.
Yeah, well, I have to tell you, for example, I got to know here somebody whose nickname is Ghost Exodus, who appeared on Darknet Diaries episode 70, and he was the first hacker who was served prison time for hacking a SCADA system in the USA. He served 11 years in total, and he's been writing a book about his story ever since he was released from prison not long ago. I'm pushing here to end it, but yeah, he still haven't completed it. Well, he have completed it, but he has to review it a lot. But me myself, I have also written a book about my story. I'm about to publish a final edition of it that covers my whole story. So I was wondering if your publishing company would be interested in publishing content like this one that I'm talking about.
Definitely, yeah. So we're looking for new authors. So if any of you have book ideas and you've already written a manuscript, one thing that in working with some of these publishing companies that I've worked with in the past, I was very let down by the lack of marketing. A lot of the book publishing companies now have changed. They're pretty much law firms now at this point. So they really don't do any marketing at all for your book. And so what we were going to do was, is to be different, is we're going to actually actively invest in marketing the books that we publish. So if any of you are interested, you are writers or you want to publish a book, please definitely reach out to me. We're always looking for new authors.
Wow,
Brilliant.
that's amazing, Samantha.
Yes, I was just going to say, I think there's a couple of people that have come up. Carl, Alec, perhaps want to ask some questions, if that's all right.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, we could do this as an AMA. Feel free to ask a question.
Carl, you were first.
Oh, sorry, I lost my voice temporarily. I'll come back.
Oh no,
I'll come back to you in a sec. Ooh, whoops, sorry, wrong button. Alec, are you there?
Yeah, good evening, good night, everybody. It's already almost night in Latvia. So great to hear. I really like that you said that you formed your own publishing company. So that's really good move. I know a few people who are also not related to IT, cybersecurity, or anything. So they said that fuck them. Let's create our own company, and we, especially if you already have a like following, right? So the people who would buy your book and whom you can, I don't know, in Twitter, in any other medium, whom you can interact with and say that, hey, here it is. So it's like you're probably better off with. So kudos to that. And
thank you.
Yeah, I unfortunately missed the beginning of what it's all about. So. But anyway, good luck, and may everything great come to you, and so on.
Thank you so much, Alec. Yeah, definitely catch the recording afterwards, because I think this is going to be published afterwards, and you could watch that part you missed. But basically, yeah. So I'm publishing 2 new books. It's for hacking APIs called Princess of Thieves. It's based on my research in hacking 55 banks through their APIs in less than a week in cryptocurrency exchanges. So if any of you are interested in learning how to hack APIs, it's a good book for you. And also my autobiography as well. But yeah, great points, Alec. I'm really disappointed in how much of a letdown working with book publishing companies has been a lot of them now are relying on having influencers write books and then using their followers to market the book, and they don't do any marketing on their side. So there's really no point in working with those big publishers like Wiley and Sons that have been around since the 1800s. They really don't do anything for the author. And so we wanted to create a new type of publishing company where we do our part. We do put our part of the heavy lifting and work with authors to help market their book, get the book out there, try and increase sales, and also take a far less percentage of it, just to make sure that marketing and everything is covered. But yeah, we're super excited about it, and would love to welcome new authors if any of you are interested in writing a book and just need a publisher.
Yeah, before we go to Samantha, Alissa, the space is being recorded. It will be available right after it ends here on Twitter, but in less than an hour, it will be available on most podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, everywhere. And tomorrow it will also be available as a video on YouTube, and I will be sending you the link for you to share.
Fantastic. I also want to remind everybody, if you did not see the announcement, API Secure is coming back. It's in person next year. So for those of you who are interested in learning API security or API hacking, Knight Events is one of our companies, and it runs an annual security conference called API Secure. If you go to apisecure.co, you will see the website for the conference. We had roughly 1,800 attendees last year across 80 speakers, and I did a special workshop for women and learning how to hack APIs. So we have just announced our early bird tickets. If you cannot make it in person to Silicon Valley, it's going to be held at the Santa Clara Convention Center in Santa Clara, California. If you are not able to make it in person, we are offering a digital pass, so all of you can also stream it and watch it online. Since it will be March, it will be after the launch of our TV network. You will also be able to watch the API Secure conference from your TV on our TV network. So something to think about, but we would love to have all of you as attendees if you guys are interested in API security. It's a great conference. It's broken up into 3 tracks. Red track for people who want to learn how to hack APIs, blue track for people that want to learn how to secure APIs, and then we have a separate solution track just for vendors, so we can prevent vendors from doing product pitches at our conference. So it's really a great system that we've created, where we were sick and tired of going to conferences and seeing nothing but vendor pitches, product pitches. So we've put vendors in their own track. So for those of you who do want to learn about API security solutions, you can attend that track, and you know that you're going to be presented to by a vendor. Whereas the red track and blue tracks, vendors are not allowed to present in those tracks. And so it helps you as the attendee make sure that you're getting actual useful information that you're there to learn.
Sounds fabulous, Alissa. What I will say, ladies and gents, obviously, if you want to come up and ask Alissa a question, please request the mic and just pop your hand up so we know which order to go in, if you don't mind. Thank you.
I just got 2 more quick questions. Do you have an actual date in January for the launch, or is it just January at the moment?
No, January 1st. So the beginning of the year. Yeah, we're less than we're 26 days away now. So so on January 1st, Knight TV Plus will be available worldwide.
Wow.
We just finished the design of the network interface, so it looks incredibly sexy. We're super excited about it. We modeled it after the Netflix TV app, so it's super. I'm super excited about it. I hope all of you will subscribe and support us. And we're also looking for suggestions on what you want to see up there for content. We did expand it to cryptocurrency cybersecurity and blockchain, especially around blockchain hacking and blockchain security. So if any of you guys are interested, guys and girls are interested in any of that, let me know. But yeah, we want to build this network for all of you. It's the world's first TV network for cybersecurity. So we want to make sure that it's built around what all of you want to see from it.
Cool. I did also notice when I clicked through onto your website from a trailer that you were advertising a sign up if somebody wanted to play a cameo role or have a cameo role. Perhaps you could tell us about that.
Yeah, so the two different franchises, so Dark Ops and the new FBI series Dark Ops. I don't know if all of you saw the trailer for that, but there's two TV series we're producing right now. One called Ransom, and the other one is Dark Ops. And you have an opportunity to be able to win a cameo appearance in the next episode. So if you go to the conceal.io website, we're in the process of redesigning that show page. But if you fill out your name and your email address to gain access to the episodes, you'll be automatically entered into the contest. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick one individual to make a cameo appearance. And we're going to fly you out here to our studios. You're going to be actually play a role and have lines in the next episode of Ransom. So there's that. And then Dark Ops is another show that we're going to be doing that for. We haven't yet announced the contest for that yet. We might do it probably later this month, but we'll announce it on social media. And then what we'll do is we'll have all of you just kind of fill something out with your information, and then we'll pick a random person to join us. I'm thinking we'll probably expand that to 2 people, so there'll be 2 winners. And then, so if any of you are interested, you've always wanted to be in Hollywood or always wanted to be in a TV show, definitely keep an eye out for those. But the contest for Ransom is live. So you just need to go to conceal.io, go to the Ransom page, and then fill out that form, and you'll be automatically entered.
Well, actually, I would love that.
I was going to say Alberto, yeah. Sorry.
Actually, I wouldn't mind having my story produced for Hollywood, but it could be Keanu Reeves, or I don't know, they tell me Antonio Banderas could play my my character. It's okay with me. No, just kidding.
Alec, did you have another question? And if anybody else, is there anybody else that wants to come up? Just please give us an indicator now.
Yes,
Chassis?
I did actually have so I myself work for a bank, and my interest was quite peaked when you said about hacking whatever number of banking APIs in whatever amount of time. So have you got no spoilers obviously, but have you hacked European PSD2 API as well?
Yeah, so there were European banks in my most recent research. If none of you have seen it yet, I would urge you to go to Google and do a search for Scorched Earth, Alissa Knight. There's a white paper that I published through No Name Security called Scorched Earth, and that's what this TV series is based on. So for all of you who have not seen the trailer for Scorched Earth yet, I'm about to publish a new version of the trailer here after this Twitter Spaces is over. I'm going to put out a new trailer. For those of you who have not seen it, Scorched Earth is based on my life. It covers my arrest by the FBI, and then me eventually going to go work for them. So Scorched Earth is actually based on a true story. But if you go to Google and search for Scorched Earth Alissa Knight, you'll find the white paper from No Name Security. Download it. It's the white paper I published on all of the banks and cryptocurrency exchanges that I hacked, and gives you an understanding of some of the attacks that I use, the tactics and techniques I use in hacking APIs. And then the Princess of Thieves book, for those of you who just joined us, the Princess of Thieves book that I'm publishing next year, that will also cover the cryptocurrency exchanges and banks that I hacked as well. So definitely great question, Alec. Yeah, if you go on Google and do a search for that white paper, you'll find it, and
found
feel
it.
free to download it. Yeah. Feel free to download, read it. Let me know what you think. But it covers all of my bank hacking. And just for those of you who just joined, I hacked 55 banks in less than a week through their APIs. So it underscores the attack vector and the attack surface around APIs and how poorly hardened they are, especially in banking.
I've heard that you said somewhere that if you want to take down the USA, all you have to do is start learning about security and API. So yeah, I guess it's a big problem.
Yeah, my favorite quote: if I were to advise a hostile nation state on how to take down the United States, I would tell them to start with the APIs first.
Yeah,
APIs are hot right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think Nick's joined us as well. Nick, did you have a question?
Nicholas. How are you, Nick?
Hello. Hi, it's nice to meet you, Alissa. I'm just listening. I just got back from a conference, analytical conference for our our language that's used at the government conference. And I dropped a talk called Everything is Hacked. And
Okay.
I didn't expect a lot of people to be there, but I'm trying to pull a lot of people in data analytics into the cybersecurity space because we have tools like Rita and we've got a lot of other things that there's some overlap, but that's what I'm involved in. I'm not trying to throw myself out there, but I do want to say that I appreciate what you're doing. And, I'm just sitting here listening. And if I have anything to say, I'll put my hand up nicely. I
Thank you,
promise.
Nick. Yeah, no, glad to have you here. Thank you for that effort to try and bring in more talent into cybersecurity. I'm sure all of you have read the cybersecurity talent gap news posts, and you're all aware of the global talent shortage we have in cybersecurity. So everyone's effort to try and bring more people into cybersecurity, more women into cybersecurity, then that's awesome. You definitely have my vote. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for introducing yourself and the work you're doing in that area.
I have a question for you, Alissa.
Sure.
If you're new to hacking or new to InfoSec cybersecurity, how would you go about introducing somebody to that area or line of work, especially from a woman point of view?
Oh yeah, great question. So, it's really easy to dump a lot of money into certifications and, training. The thing about it is that my recommendation is start out with the free stuff first. There's just such a huge economy around selling certifications and training to people. Not that I'm not knocking certification. I've gotten my CN's GCIA, done the GCFA course, done the CISSP, but at the end of the day, you all need to remember that they're businesses. Just ISC squared is a business. All of these companies that are offering certifications are businesses. So, there's the thing about it is in 2022, now it's 2023 soon, we are inundated and surrounded by information. We're surrounded by data. And the problem isn't really getting access to a curriculum on how to learn how to hack or how to learn how to, become a cybersecurity engineer. The problem is us making sure that we manage our time properly to take time out to watch that training and listen to that training. One of the things that I try and do the most is I'm very conscious about what training I pay for, and making sure that I take that training before I buy another class. So my recommendation is find the free, University of YouTube. Find the free curriculum out there. Also, I'm a huge proponent of reading. It seems like people don't really read anymore in this TikTok generation. So I would recommend all of you, there's some great books out there. What I always like to tell people to do is if you're going into cybersecurity for the first time, go get a CISSP study guide. Don't read the book in order to get your certification. Don't worry about the certification. It's just a piece of paper. Read it and study it for the content, right? It's a great 1 mile wide, 1 inch thick approach to just drinking from the fire hose and quickly diving into cybersecurity. So my recommendation is study for the CISSP because it's going to teach you a lot about the basic fundamentals of like TCP/IP networking, systems, operating systems, services, understanding the TCP/IP three-way handshake. All of these things that you need to understand as a hacker or as a defender. I know a lot of people reached out to me, hey, teach me how to hack, but they don't understand basic networking. So get those fundamentals down, learn those fundamentals, those basics of networking, the basics of operating systems, the basics of applications, and then, dive deeper. If you want to become a pen tester, if you want to become a SOC analyst, you need to understand those basic things because you can't be sitting there hacking a Linux server, for example, and not know how to restart Apache, right? So I guess that would be my recommendation is, read and access the free videos and curriculum that's out there before you start. Because you look at like these SANS GIAC or SANS courses, they're like $4,000 or $5,000. So you could spend a lot of money on training, but there's so much free information that's out there that you don't have to pay for. That wasn't available to me when I started doing this back in the early 90s. Like there was no Google in the early 90s, right? There was no, YouTube. So, now we have securitytube.net. Now we have YouTube. Now we have this concept of cybersecurity influencers. We have all of these things that I didn't have access to at the time, which was dial-up BBSs. And so I would urge all of you to just explore what's out there on Google and just find that free content before you start investing a lot of money into trying to afford these expensive courses.
Thank you. Can we go to Alex? Alex was next, Alberto.
Yeah, please, Alex. Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah,
Alex.
I mean, Alissa made very good points. Just a side note, if you want to get hired, then unfortunately, those, certifications or something to show, this is the issue. It's not, and as Alissa said, so you can learn about it, but to prove, especially with cybersecurity, how are you gonna prove it? Unless you have you have prevented something or you have actually hacked into something, but then, as Alissa and Alberto can explain you later, there are different problems probably. You have to prove that you have those skills, and unfortunately those certifications are kind of proof, lazy man's or person's proof, right?
Yeah.
How you do it. So that is one thing. Another thing, what I would recommend for wannabe security researcher, as we already had in Alberto's space, like 2 days ago, Ross Anderson, Security Engineering. This is kind of fundamental book on security as such, in my opinion, and he has third or fourth edition, but the previous ones are free, so go to his site and they are free to download and to get acquainted to whole IT security, which this IT somehow sometimes even is not IT anymore, so it's about hardware security, about physical security even. So go get those books if you're interested in, and yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Yeah, no, good point, Alex. There's a fine line with everything, right, everybody? So like if I tell you, okay, go look and read and find what free resources are available to you, don't initially focus on certifications, focus on the learning. Of course, there's a fine line between going too radical on that and not getting any certifications at all. And just the same, antithetical to that, you could go out there and focus too hard on getting certifications and not know once you get into the interview how to pass the interview. Because I've interviewed a lot of security engineers who've come in and had every Cisco certification under the sun, but couldn't tell me how a packet is created, couldn't tell me what the headers of a packet are. So it's you want to make sure that even if you do pursue certifications, much to Alex's point, you also need to pass the interview. So the certifications will get you past the gatekeepers. It'll get you past human resources and the hiring manager to be able to get into the interview with the hiring manager. but you need to also be able to pass the interview. And during the interview, you're going to be asked questions like, what's the 9th byte offset of the IP header, if you are, or what is, what comes after the IP header, what comes after the Ethernet header, how do two computers communicate on a local network, do they send out a broadcast packet, all of this stuff about fundamentals of routing and switching and security, and tell me the difference between a buffer overflow or a heap overflow, what's the difference between SQL injection, and cross-site scripting. All of these things are questions you're going to need to be able to answer in the interview. And just having that certification doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to know the answer to that question. So not just focus on the piece of paper, which is important. I agree with Alex. It is important. But you need to initially focus on the learning. The learning path is, to me, the most important.
Yeah, I truly agree with that. I just wanted to kind of say that also this certification might be important just to get you, as you said, through those gatekeepers.
Exactly.
I just wanted to add in, a friend of ours, Adam, who's in the audience here, has just reminded me of a link. He's created a list of free educational resources on the internet, which is in the nest and in the chat. So if anybody is keen to find out more about that. Thank you.
Thanks, Adam. Alberto, we'll go to Alberto, Ray, and then Nick, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, no, I wanted to add regarding what you mentioned about the CSP material to prepare for examination. I completely agree with you, but not only in terms of knowing the basis of all those things that you mentioned, but so many people approach me and ask me, how do I get started into cybersecurity? Okay, for me, that book is an amazing way of have a general idea of all the domains involved into cybersecurity, because I tell them, you won't be an expert on everything. You have to focus on pick up one field, the one that you like the most, the one that you feel most comfortable with, and then start learning on that. And with that book, you can get that idea. You reading that book, you will not be an expert on anything, but you will know about everything that is involved into cybersecurity. That, as you said, goes from networks, social engineering, encryption, everything. So after that, yeah, you can say, okay, I'm a programmer. I feel comfortable with programming. Maybe web security applications would be the field I would like to enter, and that's a good way of finding out where to start and what you like in cybersecurity, because there are a lot of things that you might that are out there, so you have to pick up one. Otherwise, you will not be an expert on anything. So that was it.
And I want to I want to echo what Alberto said. A lot of you have probably heard me say this in the past on the David Bombal show, but this famous quote has been bastardized over time so much that the entire last part of it has been left out from the original quote, and that's, jack of all trades, master of none. But one thing that a lot of people don't know is there's a second part to that quote that's been left out over time, and that's jack of all trades, master of none is always better than a master of one. So, yes, you're not going to be able to master, everything, but it's important to also learn as much as you can across as many different areas of cybersecurity as possible. Over the last 22 years I've worked in cyber, I've been a pen tester, I've been a forensic analyst, I've been an incident responder, I've been, all of these things, covering the entire gamut, and spent, a few years doing each thing. And, my advice is if I were to do it all over again, I would do it the same way, because you really want to, and I'm not saying that if you want to niche yourself and just be a pen tester your entire career is bad. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that don't feel bad if you're like me, the ADD poster child, and you want to do everything. There's nothing wrong with that. Become a pen tester, learn it, do it really well. And then if you decide, hey, look, I want to try forensic analysis, then get into forensics and learn forensics and do that for a while. And then, maybe you want to get into log analysis and event analysis and work in SIM environments and work in a SOC, then try that for a while. But, there's really no wrong way to do this other than what makes you happy what will make you happy getting up every morning doing this job. And if that changes over time, then it changes over time.
Thanks for that, Alissa. Some great advice there. Nick, we go to you next, please.
Sure. And this is one of my favorite topics is when it comes to somebody saying, how do you get into cybersecurity? And we had a friend of ours actually send me a laptop to give to somebody around here that happened to run into our group at Wild West Hackin' Fest and went, hey, I'm interested in this. Let's do it. And so we put together a USB stick with some training tools on it, and we're waiting on the laptop to show up. We'll give that to her so she can go and just help mentor her. Hopefully she can get started in it. But I find it real. So for me, uniquely, and every person is unique, and they're all going to approach it in different ways. So for me, I can only explain from my journey into cybersecurity, and it worked out really well for me because of a speciality. And that was because I came from being an aircraft mechanic. And then when I started applying pen testing stuff to avionics and aviation systems, I found a lot of problems. And when I gave a talk, it turned out that I was at the leading edge of that. And I did not expect it at all, because I thought everybody knew this. And I thought everybody saw that, is because I was dipped in it every day. And so there's likely a lot of people out there that are in some interesting specialty fields that may not have ever considered cybersecurity, but once you get that CISP book, or you get, in my case, it was a Security Plus book that I was reading up on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and just apply it. You just apply that stuff to your job. You might be able to push the boundaries a little bit and teach other people. And I'm not very highly educated. It's just not. It's not in me. I've gone to school several times. I can't concentrate. I'm not going to take a meteorology and a algebra course because I want to get a cybersecurity policy degree. It just doesn't appeal to me. But I know a lot of other people, that's what they want to do. So for me, I've always liked certifications in the sense that I can pay for it, or in my the DoD pays for it with the GI Bill and stuff. But it's not for everyone. I just use it as a placeholder, going, I know this knowledge, I understand this knowledge. Now I have to prove to you, and you can't take my word for it, because it's the structure. It's, as you say, it's designed that way. It's a business, and it's very well ingrained in it. And unfortunately, we do have to take that path, but it isn't the only path. Long before I had the certifications, people were taking the objectives and they were understanding what I was saying simply because I came from a special field that nobody understood, and then drug it into cybersecurity with me. So that's also a thing you might be able to do. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do with the statisticians, pulling them into cybersecurity, because they're going to be able to do some magical stuff with logs that we never even considered.
Yeah, it's really interesting how some of the precepts actually just, cross-pollinator. A lot of people don't know this, but even our terminology has been plagiarized from the military. Like, if I'm assuming, you're in the armed forces or were, but, it's like, for example, demilitarized zone, the concept of a DMZ. Cybersecurity didn't invent that terminology. That was stolen from the military. A lot of the even red teaming, the military uses red teaming on its bases, or initially even before cyber, where they would red team the physical security of a base, a forward operating base or whatever. But yeah, no, it's interesting how you can take cybersecurity concepts and apply them to other jobs like avionics, vehicular mechatronics, that sort of thing. But you're right, it can easily cross over. Thank you.
Alicia, I'm just conscious of how much time left we've got with you.
Okay.
Have we got how much time have we got left with you?
I would say 10 minutes.
Good?
I think we're at 2:30 is when it ends.
Cool, brilliant. Okay,
I
would
had
encourage
a request
anybody.
from somebody that's had to leave as a question.
Yeah, me too.
Ray, unfortunately, she had to go and pick her daughter up, but she asked if I could ask you. She said she was going to ask recommended programming language, and are shell scripts like Perl still important to know?
Oh, goodness, yes. Yeah, so I'm going to actually that's a great question. I want to address that because some of you who follow me have heard me get into this religious debate with people. It is a very polarized debate, as far as whether or not you have to be a programmer to be a pen tester or be in security. And I want to emphatically tell all of you that you do not. If you do want to learn how to program, if you do want to learn how to script, it is of course going to help you. It's of course going to make you less reliant on other people's exploits or scripts if you can write them yourselves. But I don't want any of you who are scared, thinking that you don't understand programming, you don't have any interest in programming, you just don't care about programming. Does that mean you can't work in cybersecurity? It absolutely does not mean that. But this is a great question. I mean, my response to that is yes, for sure. You can always use Perl, even if you're trying to do just basic things with command line. Also, Python is a really powerful scripting language. You can write entire agent server models in Python, and actually, write an entire daemon that listens on a port in Python. So, definitely, I would say Python, Perl, if you want to get into scripting. I am a self-professed non-programmer. I've hacked over 100 networks, and I haven't ever need to learn one line of code. So I don't want any of you to think, hey, I can't be as good of a hacker if I don't know how to program. If you look at it, especially the way that tactics and techniques have changed over the years, where in the early 90s, we were hacking networks through Woo FTPD buffer overflows or Apache buffer overflows. A lot of those are becoming more and more scarce now. If you look at the way that networks are getting compromised now outside of social engineering, a lot of them are actually through web apps. And, whether or not you know how to program really doesn't matter if you know how to program in assembler or C or when you're sitting there trying to target an API and use bull attacks or broken authentication attacks against it. I would argue that the requirement or need to know how to program is becoming less and less as the attack vectors move towards, these web applications, application-based attacks like APIs. Of course, depending on what insecurity you want to do. Scripting and shell scripting and all that other stuff, obviously very important if you want to be a server administrator or sysadmin. Being able to write PowerShell scripts, all that stuff is super important. But I just have seen too many people reach out to me saying, hey, what do I do? I really want to work in cybersecurity, but I don't care about programming. Does that mean that I won't have a career in cyber if I don't know how to code? And it's just simply not true. So I welcome anyone to cybersecurity, whether you want to learn how to program or not.
Thanks, Alicia. Alex?
Yeah, actually, my initial kind of observation or question was the same about whether you know or you don't know. There's a saying that in Russian, "ломать не строить." So to break is not to build. So in a sense, when you learn how to program, you get better understanding how to build the systems, and also you could potentially see the kind of the edge cases which you could exploit. And as you said, it's not mandatory to know programming, but knowing programming definitely won't hurt, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, that's it. It'll definitely give you that edge. You make a good point. It'll give you that edge over, having a better understanding of what that exploit is doing. How the application works. But yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, like I said, I have never had an interest in programming. I do not care to stare at lines of code all day or try and troubleshoot why one particular semicolon or something is breaking my code. I don't care about it. But that's just because I'm more of a visual, artistic, creative person. I would much rather be in DaVinci Resolve. But there are people out there, there's people in this call, there's people out there that would love to learn programming and want to learn it. More power to you. That's amazing. That's great. The world needs more programmers. But I just, want to stress to people that don't have an interest in programming, I don't want you to be afraid of going into cybersecurity because you don't know or don't want to.
Yeah, that's really true. And another thing was about that this jack of all trades. I think, it of course. I have transitioned from system administrator. Now I'm architect in an area, but still from IT services side, not on programming side. So what it means is that I need to have more breadth of knowledge rather than depth of knowledge. However, if you are working as a programmer or somebody, you really need this depth of knowledge, and you have to understand for your role or what you want to do. Actually, do you want more breadth or more depth? And actually, this, as my university professor said, that very good scientists do, that they establish their depth, and then they move to overlapping area which they kinda are aware of. And this is where actually what Nick said, that he actually found that there is in avionics, there's also this concern about cybersecurity, how we protect it, how we are reacting to hostile signals that come to our network, which we thought that was kind of totally secure, or we didn't need to care anything like a Thunderbolt part to take care of, right? So this is another thing, that whatever is your field, you just need to find how to overlap with something different, and this is where actually all innovation begins. When you take two kind of very unlikely fields, and then you put them together. So thank you. I'm finishing. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Nick, then Nick, Jason, and I think somebody else has just come up, Thumper. So
I'll be super quick because I know we're short on time. So you were saying the thing without having programming experience. Policy is something that I didn't realize how needed it was until the company that I work for. They basically threw a bunch of stuff at me and said, we have to meet these requirements. We don't know what they are. And I'm like, oh, yeah, this is policy. Let's do this. And understanding policy is it's this real weird niche, geeky little spot that not a lot of cybersecurity people want to be in, but it is a requirement. You can't function in these areas without meeting those requirements. And that's something you don't need to code. You just have to understand policy and practices. I just want to give an example.
Yeah, that's a great point, Nick. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, there's certification, compliance side of security. Compliance, policies, all of those are very important aspects of cybersecurity. Making sure you're in compliance. What was it that my wife always says? Compliance will keep. What is it, Mel? I saw Mel's in the audience. It's like compliance will. What is it? Compliance will keep you from getting fines, and security will keep you out of the news or something like that. Anyway, that's a good point. You don't need to know how to program for every aspect of cybersecurity, compliance, policies. That's definitely something that doesn't require programming. So thanks for bringing that up, Nick.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, another thing that doesn't require programming, although if you don't think you like programming but haven't tried it, right now is a good time to try it. And I only say that because I'm one of those do-it-all type folks, but right now I'm heavily in security architecture. But I want to say, if you haven't tried it, now is a good time because the programming tools have gotten so much better. I mean, they write the code for you in most cases. But that said, and depending on the company you work for, like what Nick was saying about compliance, every company is different, whether it's a publicly traded, they deal in medicine, healthcare, if the manufacturing or energy, there are all different kinds of compliance and governance and policies. Right now, I work for a company that doesn't have one single one of those. And for me to actually make any meaningful security changes is a big pain in the butt because I can't go against any darn policy. So, and I just wanted to give you kind of like my 2 cents on some things to think about there.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Jason. Yeah, it sucks because, you see the tweet threads out there and the trolls out there. I mean, we've all seen it, where someone's being attacked because, you're not a real hacker unless you have any CVEs to your name, or you're not a real hacker unless you know how to code. it's such a polarized topic, you know, and I get it. I understand why some people can be affected at such a visceral level for that. Most of them are probably programmers, but yeah, no, security architecture also, you know, a great area of security to be in. You know, we need to architect our cloud environments, our containers, Kubernetes, all that stuff. You know, security architecture is a huge part of that. So yeah, I mean, you know, even in security architecture, it doesn't require programming. But good point, Jason. Yeah, the language, things have changed a lot from the Pascal days. But yeah, so but if you are interested in programming, I'm not, you know, trying to push you away from that. Like I said, more power to you. I just could never do it. It's yeah, could never do it.
Cool. Thanks, Alissa. I'm conscious of your time. Have you got time to answer Carl's question?
Yeah,
if
sure.
Carl's
I
got a
can take
question.
one more. I can take one more.
Yeah. Carl?
Actually, it's not a question. Here we go. The National Science Foundation, along with the National Institute of Cyber Education, has started programs and grants for people in the U.S. So you might want to look them up on the government website.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, Carl, for bringing that up. There's a lot of grants out there for the, and also Night Group is also part of the Night Dragon program, also to raise money and send, you know, pay for scholarships for people that want to go, students that want to go and learn cybersecurity to try and address this this cyber skills gap issue that we're having. So definitely look for grant programs out there. It is a global problem. It's not just a U.S. problem; it's an everyone problem. So, you know, if you have an interest in cybersecurity and you can't afford certain courses, look into grants. Carl made a good point. You know, there's free money out there for you to go out there and learn cybersecurity and be able to afford the training that you want to take. But I don't, again, I want to stress this to all of you. Do not be at the mercy of whatever you can afford or not afford. There's a lot of great free training out there that will teach you certain aspects of cybersecurity that you don't have to pay for. So, you know, just be creative, go out there, look for it. But if there is something you want to take, definitely look into potential grants.
That's
Cool.
great.
I just want to check. Nana, did you want to ask something? I noticed you came up as a speaker just quickly.
Nothing really. I'm okay now. Yeah.
No worries. Just wanted to check because I saw that you just joined. Thank you so much, Alissa. It was really nice to meet you, and I'm really excited, and I wish you all the best with your ventures coming forward.
Thank you so much. I want to thank Alberto, Samantha, Azure. Thank you for everyone for having me. Thank you for attending. I know all of your time is valuable, so thanks for listening. Definitely would love to have all of you guys and girls join us in our new TV network launching January 1st. Keep an eye out for it on It's called Night TV Plus, and we'll definitely be socializing. If you haven't yet, connect with me on LinkedIn, follow me on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Twitter. Feel free to reach out and introduce yourselves. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
if you
you.
wouldn't mind sharing the
Thank you.
link to your new trailer when you launch that later.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will be.
Well.
Yeah, I'm about to release the new Scorched Earth trailer here shortly. I'm just gonna we'll get it rendered and get it uploaded, and I'll put it out, blast it out on social media.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much, Alissa. It's been wonderful, and maybe you can be here another time. I don't know, after the release of the channel, that would be amazing. So thank you so much. It's been wonderful.
Thank you, everyone. Happy holidays.
And you take care.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay, this is amazing. I didn't know she was involved in so many things, and the channel was covering not only content like documentaries or series, but also education, broadcasting of congresses. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, she sounds like a very busy woman.
Yeah,
she does indeed.
Yeah, sorry I joined late. I
covers
had a late
lot, doesn't it? No, you're right, Jay. So yeah, the channel's going to cover a hell of a lot: educational, documentaries, series,
and it's going to be 24/7.
24/7. It's great.
They
And it was
say what
5
platform
awards,
it's
not
on?
3.
Amazon and Did she say Netflix or?
She said Netflix
I
She,
think she
show.
said it
no,
was
she
an
said a model on
She
indictment
did.
of
Netflix,
UI.
but yeah.
Rhetoric. Is it Rhetoric? Not Rhetoric. Was it? There was another one as well. A couple of American
Well,
ones as well.
you can buy it as a service associated with Amazon, with Fire Stick or Apple TV, or if you have a Samsung TV, you can download the app directly, so you can get it in a lot of ways.
Do it on the web too. You can watch Amazon Prime on the website.
So, guys, in order to have this content ready to deliver it to other platforms, I will stop this space now, unless you want to point out anything about the conversation. I will close this so I can download the MP3 file and upload that into the
Sounds
podcasting platform.
Yeah, sounds
Okay,
Thank you, Alberto.
thank you, guys.
Fine.
No,
Be like that.
thank you, thank you, guys, all of you, Samantha, Gabriel, thank you very much, and everybody else. I love you guys.
Love you
No worries,
too.
Alberto.
Bye.
Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thanks.